brief teaser for our new project here, which I'm going to have Dave talk about, but I just wanted to first mention what we were doing before, which ended up leading to this project. So when we had started, we have now done 22 episodes of Botox and Burpees together.
That's a lot.
Which is amazing.
It's actually my high school baseball number.
And had over a couple thousand downloads or listens to that podcast. And we just started it talking about different topics which interested us as coaches, as athletes. And it really grew into something I didn't expect, because when I first started Botox and Burpees, it was going to just be a little bit about plastic surgery, a little bit about CrossFit and people I found interesting. And then I interviewed you and talked about how you would have, the first one was what you would have done differently starting in CrossFit. And then we started talking about different topics, and it just blew up. And the feedback we got was super positive. I really enjoyed every episode. I kept learning every time we were talking, also getting comments from other people.
I think one thing it did, we both echoed this, was it made us more accountable to what we both know, what we need to know, what we need to teach. When you're going to put yourself out there or try to convey certain messages, you got to make sure, A, what you're talking about, but B, you can come across the right way. And it kind of just lit a fire underneath both of us that, especially if there's people listening, how big of a difference it can make and how much it can help people, because there's a lot of messages you want to get across, but you just can't do it in a class setting. And there's so much to this that can help out so many different people in so many different ways that this is probably the best way to do it, is just talk about it with both us and a few different guests. And we think we can do some good things with it.
So now that, and honestly, I thought one of the most fun parts was, also taxing parts, was doing it during the CrossFit Open, where we were doing this and then talking about our experiences. And I thought that was very immediate. We had a lot of fun breaking down the WODs, bringing guest coaches in and different other people. And it just really made sense to make this into its own project and to grow this. So what is it now that we're going to do with this new project?
So we're going to introduce the name of this podcast. It's called the Herd Fit Podcast with Dr. Sam Rhee and meathead Dave Syvertsen and Coach Dave Syvertsen. What we really plan on doing with this is to not only talk about CrossFit, because that is just as much variety as we have in CrossFit. It's too basic. It's too channeled to a certain group of people. We want this to be just an ultimate health and fitness podcast that heavily leans towards CrossFit, but it's something that we want to show and prove and bring on multiple guests to show you that there are so many different things you can get out of and put into this kind of training that can literally just improve your quality of life.
Yeah, I'm really excited because we've been going through all these topics, and all of these topics I think are going to help not just others, but me as also as an athlete, as someone dedicated to fitness, as someone who wants to be healthy, touch on all these different aspects of our lives. And a lot of it that we started kicking around as we were talking about this project is as much about our mental state and what we approach in the gym and outside the gym. So to me, gym is extension of life. And that's why this project's got me excited, because what we apply to the gym, which is an easier version of life in some ways, applies to what we do outside of the gym.
Yes, absolutely. It's as intertwined as you can imagine.
And if you do everything as well as you can in the gym and you translate that into life, that's going to help us become better people. And so some of these topics I'm really excited about because they're things that I grapple with every day. I know there are things that a lot of people grapple with these topics every day. And I also am interested about all the interviews because we have a lot of people who have a lot of insight into some of these things.
Both in and out of Bison, personal relationships that we have with people, we want to make sure that we bring all their knowledge on several different topics there are so many resources in this place, but also just with personal relationships that we have that can help people out. And I think that the more you hear and the more variety you hear, not just Sam and I, but all these people that we have plan on coming on, you're going to eventually find something or someone that you connect to, and it's going to really help improve your status, your placement here, and how the gym relates to your life. And I think that it's really important to know that this podcast will be a lot of Sam and I, but we know that there's a lot more out there than just the two of us, and we're limited. If it's just us, we're very limited, and we have so many good people that can share a lot of good information for everyone that's listening, that put us all in the same room together. I think we're going to come up with some really good listens for you guys that are going to help, improve so many different areas of your life.
Yeah, and I really want to thank everyone who have been listening. The feedback has been super valuable, and it's really gratifying to know that it's not just us, but a lot of people in general who feel interested in the same topics that we've been talking to.
Yep.
And we never would have been able to even think about a new project without the support and the positivity of people who have told us, we listened to your podcast, it's really good, it got me to thinking about this, and it's so gratifying to hear people ask us or even talk about some of these topics with us. And I was like, wow, we talked about it, but that's a really good point. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I think that's really important for you guys to know that when you do give, and this is for anybody giving feedback to anyone, the feedback is so valuable, more than you think. And I think that feedback alone is probably the reason why we're pursuing the project.
Absolutely.
Because I'll tell you what, we're not doing this because we want to hear ourselves talk. We're doing this because if we know a few people got something out of this, we know some others did too. And even further than that, this can help a lot of people down the road. And we're still, Sam's much more advanced than I am with some of the technology stuff. So we still have a little ways to go, myself and mainly, when it comes to building this into what we really want to build it to. But it's like when we both started CrossFit respectively, we've made a lot of progress over the years, but it's because we just kept at it. We plan on doing that with this. And I can guarantee that if you stick with us now and keep giving us feedback like the way you did, we can really make something out of this.
Absolutely. And as you can tell, we hit the ground running. We're right in the middle of it. We may not be the fanciest production values at this point, but we wanted to add some video to it. We're going to start with that. We have much more intelligent and experienced people who are on board to help us in the future, but we also just wanted to hit the ground running.
Even if get our material out there.
Yeah, and just start, and everything else will follow with that. And I really just appreciate everyone, and especially all of us around us, our community.
Yeah, our community, our families, our wives. Here we are on a Sunday afternoon while our wives are with our kids right now. I say this about Ash all the time, whether it's Bison, whether it's competing, I can't do any of this without her. And I want her to know that every time we're doing something like this, it's a lot of that's for her and Brock. Without a support, just like the athletes that come here, they need Bison. I don't think they really realize how much we need them as well. And I think that's something that they should always keep in front of their minds. We're the ones doing the talking. We're the ones that have a cartoon drawn of us. But we need you guys as much as we are trying to portray that this is something that you guys will need at some point.
Absolutely. Look forward to a lot more soon. And I appreciate it. And it's going to be, the website is going to be
herdfitusa.com.
Yeah, herdfitusa.com. We're going to be breaking through on all the same podcasts. The old episodes will still be available via link on herdfitusa.com. So all of our previous 22 episodes will still be able to be accessed. And I'm sure there are going to be a ton of bumps and glitches that happen along the way. But I'm just really excited to get started with it.
Yeah, can't wait, man. It's going to be awesome.